not bad there, Miles. Hey, give him a fucking look. That's fucking soft. Fucking bullshit, man.
Ready, go.
Right.
Get my hand throw.
Hey, come back.
Let's go, everybody. Got down.
Fucking strike this fucking thing.
Let's go. Violent hand. Let's go.
Strike.
All right. Get my hand throw.
Get your head across the ball here. He's just fucking
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Little clip that'll get you fired up. Hopefully you could hear it. There was a lot of F-bombs, a lot of, just get after it from Coach Sumrall there. Just absolutely juice from our fourth practice that happened yesterday on Tuesday, second day of pads. Got a great show in store for you guys this morning as Zach Goodall joins us to talk about what he's seen, what he's been excited about. A couple early morning days for our guys. They're starting at 8:32. We're going to talk about the schedule too. Coach John Summerall spoke about his schedule. He spoke yesterday, said some things about how he feels about this team, where it's headed, where it could go. Going to be a banger. Cody the Prof joins us here on this beautiful morning. Cody, good to see you, big guy. How you feeling? We had speed training yesterday. We're pushing sleds. All good stuff so far.
Yeah, sore. And then plus work. I felt like a newly born giraffe on ice. Like the legs, every time I need to use my legs for anything, they're a little wobbly. Okay, they're shaky.
That's just normal. That's just normal.
Yeah.
Boy, smash the like button. We got 130 strong at 8 o'clock in the morning. I love it. And of course, like I said, our guy Zach Goodall joins us here on this beautiful Wednesday morning, best day of the week. Zach, man, it's been too long, my man. Too long.
It has been, man. Yeah, how you guys doing? I'm pumped to be here.
We are doing well. You look fantastic. You're getting after it. We've only had you back once since your return to the 247 to the swamp. I believe.
Yeah, because you were with the Jags, right?
Right.
That's right.
I've been doing this whole media tour. I've been popping around as much as I can, and also I guess this off season I've been a little less doing that because that late November to mid-January timeframe was just atrocious. I'm ready to go on vacation this upcoming week. They're on spring break. I'm going to be on spring break too.
Were you back-to-back coaches fired? Did you cover back-to-back coaches getting fired?
Yeah. My last day covering the Jaguars was the press conference with Shad Khan and Trent Baalke after Doug Peterson got fired, which was a whole thing in and of itself because everyone wanted Trent Baalke fired. And I had all those stories ready to go, and that didn't happen. And then I came in, Florida's off that 4-game winning streak. Everyone's thinking, okay, finally, there may be a chance for this regime. And then it literally was 2 games into the season last year, USF, where I was like, nope, I got to start preparing more stories about coaches getting fired. This is great.
Maybe.
Doug, I'm not sending a Catholic priest to sage your house. You got some bad juju going on with you, dog. I don't know what you did in your past life, but
another thing. Hey, Zach, thanks for joining us today, bud.
Yeah, I hope I don't get you guys fired from anything. Or anyone that I'm involved with.
Any podcast been canceled since you've been on them?
Yeah.
I mean,
that look. Oh boy, yeah. You're gonna get a knock at the door, and it's gonna be a Catholic priest, and he's gonna be hitting the holy water and saging.
I'm not trying to pat myself on the back too much or anything, but so I have gone on the Paul Feinbaum show a couple times since right before I left the Florida beat the first time, then of course it's within a year those conversations pop up of, oh, is he gonna run for Congress? So no matter where I go, someone's trying to get out of there.
Well, I will say, so you go to the Jags, they fire, and they have a phenomenal year. Come to Florida, they fire Napier, and then, the next year's
maybe it's one bad year with Zach Goodall, and then you get national championships and playoffs.
Well, I did start my career covering the Jaguars, and my first time getting credentialed was the preseason and off-season after the 2017 playoff run. So actually, I should do this.
Was that Saxonville?
Compile So all downhill right after that. So I should probably go back and look at the combined record of the teams I've covered. It's got to be in the 300 or 400-ish for winning percentage. Definitely below 500.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Hey, I'll let you know
I
after
sit here
this
and
year. I'll
say-
let you know if I need you to go up to the Minnesota and cover my Vikings for a year.
Okay, yeah, I can help you out.
Getting shaky over there.
I say that I was like,
Yeah.
I've covered the same teams you have, so it's not like it's been any great for me since I've been doing this
No,
either.
yeah,
So that's funny.
yeah, that's a good point.
Well, Zach, we always appreciate you, man. And I always love your perspective. I talked about having you on just because you are well versed at seeing coaches being fired, but also well versed in seeing a lot of different practices and how things are ran. And I mean, the buzz from this camp has been electric. I mean, everybody is talking about it. And you know, we all like to drink the Kool-Aid. I like having you on. You always keep me balanced and keep me level-headed. How we feeling? We slurping this thing down, Zach, or are we pumping the brakes here?
I mean, I don't see any way. I don't think you have to go either way quite yet. Like, I will tell you from my perspective, like, I'm not rushing to any predictions because that has backfired on me tremendously. I'm trying to take this in from maybe this is selfish, how I feel as a media member in this environment. So right off the bat, and I guess this leads into what fans would want. That clip you aired right at the start where John Sumrall is just letting guys have it in that tackling circuit. I find that very refreshing, if anything, because between Jacksonville and the 2024 season, obviously Florida last season, even though our media access, I think, was as bad, quite frankly, as it had been in quite some time in terms of how much time we got to see practice. They cut the practices that we were able to see compared to the first few years of the Napier era, and obviously going back. But there was no energy like that from the head coach, whether it was Napier, in my case in 2024, whether it was Doug Peterson. There's no intensity coming from the head coach, the guy who's supposed to set the example. John Sumrall, meanwhile, drops those countless number of F-bombs because there wasn't enough physicality in attacking that first sled and then going to, practice tackling. Then the sled gets knocked over on its side by the guy going through the drill a second time. And John Sumrall still has F-bombs to drop because that linebacker did not get his head to the chest of the, simulated running back. From my perspective, just that in and of itself is worth getting hyped over. I think that brings, a lot of excitement for the fans who see it, but also it's accountability for the players, intensity for the players that clearly, based on the past few years, they really needed. Like I don't mean to discredit any one player as much as it was like team environment, team culture, but I think this Florida team has been pretty soft for a while. So you want to install that kind of energy. I think it's exciting. And then also quick add too, I just want to shout them out. I've done this in a couple different spots, even just on the Swamp 247 show. I really appreciate this coaching staff's transparency, their honesty. John, you guys see it. John Sumrall is not going to beat around the bush when he is talking in front of a microphone. Knowing players even might hear it. Like, he's not calling anyone out individually like, yeah, this guy sucks. But he's willing to be like, yeah, this team is not where I would expect them to be. Or at least, even in those first couple where he was talking about wanting more offensive and defensive linemen from the portal, he was like, yeah, I don't know if we did a good job of that. I'm not willing to gauge the talent level of our roster. I'm uncomfortable with where, this is what he said yesterday, something along the lines of, I'm uncomfortable with where we're at right now. He thinks it'll end up being fine, but right now he's not like feeling fantastic about where the team is 4 days into spring practice because he wants to see more intensity, more scheme being applied, more leaderships rise. And, compared to last year when DJ Lagway's arm and leg were falling off and Billy Napier was saying everything's fine, I like that. I think that's a good mark for a media member to have a coach who's willing to just come and tell you the truth.
Yeah, and back to the video that we showed this morning. Again, it's not at the point what you were prefacing and what's important about that clip is, look, I want you to hit the sled, but I also want you to drive your head through the tackler or who you're tackling, right? I want you to do the entire drill perfect. Like, just because I'm yelling, that doesn't mean I just want you to go and just smash it half-ass and smash this part, but not do the other part of it. And I think that was kind of, you're seeing the bad habits, come out in those situations of like, okay, coach yelled, let me just go hit this thing really hard and then continue to go through the motions, if you will. And that's what he is trying to, basically level out here is like, look, you need to do every single drill as if you're playing in the game. Hit hard, finish hard. Hit hard, finish hard. And right now, it's like people are trying to make it seem like they're doing the job. It's like, look, the only person you're hurting in this drill is yourself, not me. I don't give a damn. I'm not the one I'm not the one playing. And it is very refreshing. And I wanted to ask you, I'm watching the presser last night, and I love hearing you guys ask questions, try to figure out who's asking the question, and then we grade your guys' questions on the show. But I'm thinking from a presser, I was excited to ask you this morning of like, man, it's got to be refreshing to cover. Like I'm fired up to listen to his pressers. Like you don't know what you're gonna get, and I can only imagine as a beat writer, like it's got to be awesome.
Yeah, again, I think I find him honest and transparent. Not like he's going to come out and spill every secret, share. Like I asked about the quarterbacks yesterday, and I like tried to make it not about the competition. I feel like he's been asked about that any chance he's had. Like when someone brings up, even if it's indirect, they're like, "Oh, Aaron Philo's, comfort within this scheme and system." That's inherently a quarterback competition question. He's willing to come out and hedge and be like, "Well, yeah, he's got that, but there's Tramel Jones." But I asked him, it was closer to the end, about like how the quarterbacks as a whole, the room. I mean, that could apply to Will Griffin, even Aiden Warner, whoever it may be. How are they taking what they learned from December, January, February of learning the scheme and applying it to the field? And honestly, it was one of his shorter answers because he's not, he thinks they're communicating well, but they're trying to lead. They're trying to be assertive. Timing and things matter, and they're still working through that. Like he wasn't just going to come and fluff it up and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm seeing positive things," and yada yada. He ended it with, "We have a long way to go," and I think that message is true across the entire roster. You definitely heard that when it came to the physicality and players stepping up as leaders, and honestly, it was very reflective of what Brad White was saying last Thursday about how he needs to see the team in pads. Same deal. Doesn't really see a bunch of leaders stepping up because players are trying to gain confidence in what they're doing. And that it's a challenge for this team that they've not yet quite risen to apply what they've learned the last couple months onto the field in what was, again, at that point, day 2, not padded for the defense. But whether it's John Sumrall, obviously, again, Brad White, Buster Faulkner too, I think that there is some unison here. These guys are willing to be honest with the media and not, beat around the bush in any way, shape, or form. But with that comes like they're not afraid to say what's on their mind. And if players hear it, it's tough love, like you mentioned. It's not like they're just throwing guys under the bus. They're reminding them, hey, like expectations are all the way up here. We need you guys to meet them. It's not personal.
How are the players responding to obviously the MFers being thrown and just the new attitude and kind of hard-nosed grit of this entire coaching staff? Last year it was just Chapman, and then they said Robert Bala maybe a little bit every now and then you would hear him, but it seems like you're getting it from everywhere, from the OC to the DC all the way down.
This is the new standard.
Yeah, like are the guys kind of shell-shocked? Are they like looking around with wide eyes like what would we get ourselves into, or are they pretty responsive about it?
I think both things can be true in that when this first got underway with the winter workout program, with the gauntlet, to the point of discipline and having to be perfect going through these drills, otherwise they're hurting themselves. Like no better example of that than the gauntlet. Like I heard it was 8 or 9 attempts to get through, and it was as simple as your toe is over the line. This is 115-ish players that they're looking to make sure any of their toes are over the line, and it negatively impacts everyone. Like at first, that was a level of accountability that I don't think a lot of these guys were used to. Whether they were returning from the team last year, I would say especially if they were returning from the team last year, or they were transfers coming in from a program that wasn't too late, which, was 28 of them compared to 2 coming in. So there was at first a level of, oh, this is something I got to get used to. But there's been no animosity that I've heard. The players that, I've talked to, whether it's on the record or just, hearing from players or related people behind the scenes as well, I think they're accepting of it. Like I've certainly seen no blowback in any way, shape, or form. Players understand that there's a level of responsibility here. Now, is there going to be a breaking point at any point if some players just aren't built for it? I'm not sure. But at least thus far, there's been no pushback that I've heard. If anything, like I have heard players say that they do appreciate this level of accountability. It is intense. It takes getting used to, but they think it's making, things better across the board and certainly individually than anything else.
Well, that's just it, right? If it's working, nobody cares, how much they're getting throttled. And that's going to be the key factor. Is right now they don't have anything to compare it to. But I'm sure they're seeing the transition happening already, just in how they look physically and how practices are going to a certain point. He mentioned about how this is a player-led team yesterday in the presser. And Cody, I will talk about the presser more once you go, Zach. But something he spoke about was the practice schedule and how the players are heavily involved in it. And they chose the time. They chose the 8:32 time slot, which gives them more time throughout the day. Did they practice less or more during this time in Napier's regime? I don't remember, but it made it seem like they're very precise on their practice.
Yeah, I think it's effectively the same amount of time. It's just as simple as players seem to have gotten used to getting up that early and getting their day started. And keep in mind, they're starting at 8:30, but they're up around 4:30 to go in. Ooh. To pre-covery is what they call it, and getting loose, whether it's like conditioning or anything like that, meetings before they take the practice field. It sounds as though it's been well received, that it's like a nice like jolt of energy almost, which is ironic as you see me struggling to be awake at 8 a.m. But it's at the same time, it also gives these guys the rest of their day, which they seem to appreciate, whether it's going to class, committing to recovery later in the day, getting to bed earlier, allows for film time meetings after they've gotten their schoolwork done. Between this and then obviously, again, the gauntlet is another example of it. They were up 4:30. The expectation was that it would start, I want to say at 5:30 in the morning is when it would start. And some players, first couple of days, were showing up like 5 minutes before. And it got to a point where I don't want to say it was necessarily all 112, however many players there are, were showing up 30 to 50 minutes before, but it quickly turned into most of the team showing up well in advance of when they were supposed to start. So if anything, they've just, based on the winter workout program, they got used to having responsibilities before the sun came up. And so far they seem to be appreciating it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't just walk in at 5 minutes and be expected to be, you had to be on P's and Q's.
Well, if you're not getting throttled, you can.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
if you're not being held, if your toe doesn't have to be in the line, again, we Rusty Witt was on our show. He says like you can survive it if you show up 5 minutes before. The point isn't to survive it. Yeah. These are small details that I think fans I appreciate hearing. And again, I think where a lot of us are a little bit gun shy and battered and bruised with the last couple of years of how to cover and what to say because you don't want to overextend yourself. But the analogy that I continue to use, and I will until we reach the destination, which is playing football, is that we're driving down a new road. And this road, as of now, is A1A, and it's a scenic view. It's fantastic, and I am enjoying every minute of the ride. When we would go to Bike Week here in Daytona, we would love to take A1A. It's an awesome way to take it. Takes a little bit longer to get there, but it's a nice ride. And you enjoy it. You go down that road for a reason, and we're taking that road. Now, sometimes you get to Bike Week, and it's hectic. You don't know what you're going to get when you get there. And that's what we don't know yet. But at least it feels good going to this next destination look, and I say that it's always felt good, but this feels really good because we now have something genuinely to compare it to and have just a complete 180 of what was happening. And again, I keep saying that doesn't mean it's going to translate into success. But if it wasn't working and you're doing something completely different, you assume it's going to work. I think that's kind of the way that madness works. What are some things that you've liked? Again, I love your perspective, obviously, of being around multiple leagues and coaches, just how practices are being handled. You're still getting 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, we are, which is I am a big fan of that. I know that after doing it for a few weeks at a time, even at the NFL level, going and seeing all of practice, you get a little tired, if only because it becomes repetitive. But for now, I'm eating this up. What I could envision wanting to see more is obviously the team drills, and there's like a short period that we're allowed to see of team drills. Basically, well, I guess I'm not supposed to say this.
Whoa.
I think it's I think it's okay. We see like 4 plays from a couple of different personnel groupings very quickly. There's not much to assess there. It's not worth paying attention to which team is the first team offensive line or yada, yada, yada.
Wait.
Only because it's too early.
Yeah, I have some tidbits of that later on. I got some screenshots from the mic'd up video where you can see the offensive. I'm assuming they're playing like a little bit of a short little scrimmage, like you just said, like a little red zone drill. And you can see the linemen and which quarterback is in and which running backs are in. Now, I know that it doesn't mean anything, but for me, it's a component of who's practicing with who right now. And so we're going to talk about it later on in the show. I have some thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I would just exercise caution because true as that is, like it is, you want to see who's building chemistry with who. I think they're experimenting
for sure
more than anything, and they want to see
Zach.
which receivers. Yeah, no, please cook, please cook. I saw some stuff on Twitter because there was, I believe, a leak as to like what one of these units looked like during a time we got to see it, and like I just don't necessarily think that is what the lineup is going to end up looking like in the long run. It's more like I like to see the tempo that they're moving in. Honestly, that setting, and again, I'm really not supposed to be reporting on this, so I hope that anyone watching from UF doesn't consider this reporting. To the point of the coaching intensity.
You ain't got to worry. They don't watch the show. None of them.
Todd Golden does.
Yeah. See? I think that the coaching intensity is probably as evident in that very short team period that we get to see as any other part of practice that we get to see. Granted, the other parts are individual drills, largely some stretching. That is an intense period that they're like flying through. And again, that's really, I enjoy getting to see that part. It's something that we're not allowed to see in the past.
You posted a clip. Actually, this is Zach, I hope you don't mind. I made a little bit of a video of your clips. These are all your clips, sir, because you do a phenomenal job. I'm going to pull it up now while we chit chat. But you had a clip of KJ Ford. I think it's in this video. That man looks like an absolute unit. Talk to us about talked about some players that have just blown you away of how they look thus far.
Yeah, I'll start with KJ Ford, and I need to go and pay a little bit more attention to the jack edge rushers. I admittedly hadn't up until yesterday too much because, as far as I'm concerned, that is Jaden Woods' room. KJ Ford, maybe Kofi is going to play a little bit, but yeah, no, KJ Ford, he came in, and this isn't a projection that he is going to play to the level Jaden Woods did last year, but he's like the exact same build, basically, and pretty athletic, pretty fluid. It's been good to see him getting started and seemingly off to a good start with Bam Hardman in that group. Yeah, here's the rep Jaden Woods did. I think KJ, it was the same. Yeah, there it is. You see it. You could see like the lower body in his ability to get under that pad and get it up and move quickly off that block. He's a player that I'm sure, as I pay attention to more, is going to continue to stand out. I mean, he was obviously incredibly impressive at the highest classification in Texas for a reason, and a former top 100 recruit as well. I think that the player who stood out to me the most, and it's not a surprise, I don't think, is Eric Singleton. I think that he's an incredibly sharp route runner. The speed that they've advertised for him is legit. I think that they're going to use him in a lot of different ways in this offense, but people should continue to be excited about his acquisition. I think that he'll easily end up being the most impactful transfer that Florida brought in. You showed Micah Mays there. Here's the clip of Singleton running just a very crisp dig route. There's no rounding that corner. He knows how to get down and out 15 yards, and it's a smooth play. Micah Mays is another one, more of a contested catch vertical guy, but I think that there's going to be a role for him in the rotation, likely at the same position as Dallas Wilson. So when they need to give him a breather, maybe run 4 receiver sets, they have Mays out there as their 4th guy. Last standout that I will point to, I have been impressed with Tramell Jones. And that's not to take away from, like, we obviously don't get to see the team periods outside of what I was hinting at earlier, but like the actual down and out calculated, get to see them go through a whole drive and understand where this quarterback competition is. We don't get to see that, obviously. But what we're able to see are these individual drills, and you can monitor their footwork, their lower body mechanics, how the ball comes off their arm, accuracy, obviously, zip. And I think that Tramell Jones has the most impressive arm of the group in that setting, very specifically. There are throws he's making that I've not seen any of the other quarterbacks make, especially those like pro-style throws where you're targeting 15-plus yards downfield, but it's not just like a go route. It's like those comebacks. It's those out routes, like that one to Vernell Brown that kind of cuts off at the end because someone was standing in the way after the catch. But that was a perfect throw to BB3 there for that example. And I've not seen any of the other quarterbacks make that throw with the accuracy, the placement, the anticipation, the ball, the zip on it. And again, like, there's a lot more that I would like to see to assess this quarterback competition. This is like 10% of it, basically. But it comes down to the physical and the lower body mechanics specifically for me that I'm watching for. And of that group, that's where, I think Tramell Jones has been the most impressive.
So I was going to ask you anyways. This doesn't mean you picking Sumrall to be the starter, which this has been a fun conversation and discussion, if you will, because for ourselves included, I was leaning Philo headed into camp. Every person I've talked to has been very impressed with Sumrall and his ability to slang that bang, if you will, in quotes of Dylan Olive, which is half the battle.
Yeah.
That's important, but it's half the battle. And I love hearing it. Like the thing that we've also stated on is like, I really don't give a damn who starts. I just want to win football games. But the idea, on the show, you're trying to figure out who you think is gonna be the starter. And early on, it was like the media's already kind of penciling in Philo to be it. And it's funny to see how everybody's now leaning Sumrall just based on what they've seen thus far. So it is funny to watch how this thing unfolds. Are you comfortable giving a prediction of who you think the starter will be based on what you know from just previous years and what you've seen, or not ready?
I probably won't be ready until like a week or two before the season, if only because Summerall's like made this point a couple of times now. The whole Darian Mensah situation, like his first year at Tulane has a quarterback competition. It extends until middle of August, pretty sure. And there were 2 guys in front of Mensah who I guess it sounds like the coordinator or maybe quarterback's coach were coming and saying, hey, like one of these 2 guys, and Sumrall rolls with Mensah instead, and it kind of surprises everyone. Worked out pretty well, I would say. But it just goes to show that Sumrall, he's going to be the ultimate decision maker, even if he's getting advice from other people, and maybe that won't align, but he's got to figure it out. But also he's going to allow it to play out. And what I was saying about Tramell too, I don't want to let that take away from Philo. Now, there have been throws that I would like to see better from Philo. Like I've seen him put a couple balls in the dirt that, I would have liked to see him make. I think he's had a couple more of those than Tramell. But again, what I'm seeing is just like, I want to call it 10 to 15%. Sumrall said yesterday that apparently Aaron Philo had a really good practice on Saturday. At least that's what we were hearing. And Sumrall, I think, tempered it. He was like, he had a good day Saturday. Highlighted a couple things he did well. But Philo did, yeah. And this was outside of what we were able to see. We weren't even there Saturday. We don't get to go Saturdays at this point. But so that just goes to show, like, when I'm able to see, like, Tramell Jones is standing out in these individual drills, in these routes on air, right? That isn't even half the battle. That might not even be a quarter of the battle. And if they're seeing good things from Aaron Philo that I'm not able to see, Yeah, especially and to your point too, like with how he was kind of already crowned going in, like I do think that makes a lot of sense, right? He's got 2 years of understanding the scheme, and while they're changing some things up, like the verbiage, the terminology, it's going to largely be the same. He understands the practice structure offensively because again, he's been through it for 2 years. So I do think that still ends up being an advantage at this point in the year. Not to say that by fall, Trammell won't basically be on the same level having gone through a spring. I just ultimately, there are so many different factors that will go into it that I'm not 100% sure that they'll know by the end of spring camp who their starter is going to be, which to outsiders might be concerning. But then again, like look at Darian Mensah and how that all worked out at Tulane. They figured that out in like mid-August.
I think I would have been worried if it wasn't for last year, watching how a lot of teams showed up to SEC Media Days without their quarterback. Some quarterbacks even showed up in June, one being Joey Aguilar, and they were just fine. So, and Summerall speaks about it in his presser yesterday about, look, like every year you're going to have to re-pitch your message, who you are and what you do. Like that is the new age of college football. And I kind of said that. I go, everyone's like, where do you think we're going to be? It's like, it's not like back in the day where it's like you lose, or you have like a year and you're kind of build up to, like last year we kind of built up to who we should have been, and then you just fall off completely. Like it's very easy to replace it. I also believe that these freshmen coming in are much more sharp than what they were in the past. Like there really isn't an excuse for a complete fall off. Now, do you still peak up? Do you still have a year where everything kind of syncs up and it's good? Yeah, but I just don't think the drop off is what it used to be. Like this actual genuine of a rotation of like, hey, we're younger this year. We're going to have a fall off, because you can go out and get those things. But with all that being said, yeah, I don't think I'm not too concerned. I wouldn't mind if this thing rode all the way to the beginning of the year, but that's where I've leaned Philo. I will continue to be on the Philo. Leading Philo is just simply the experience that he has. That's what like we don't see right now. Like Trammell can throw a better ball, and I believe that he has as far. The reason I've continued to lean is like when the whistle blows and we're hitting busting uglies, who's going to be about it? And that's where Trammell, in my opinion, has the edge that Trammell or Philo has the edge that Trammell's not going to be able to taste just yet. Maybe they'll do great in-game simulations and we'll be able to figure those things out. Again, I don't mind picking somebody and losing. Again, that's what the weird thing is. Like, I don't care about being wrong in this scenario. If I pick the wrong starting quarterback, I want to win, and I think it does feel like we're in a really healthy place. There seems to be a healthy competition, but we got almost 500 people, 435 people strong in here this morning with our guy Zach Goodall from 247 Sports. Be sure to smash the like button, guys. Subscribe. Zach, thank you for hopping in on this beautiful morning. Tell them where they can follow you, keep up with all of your great tidbits here, and thank you for your nice little nuggets this morning about what you've seen thus far. I think everyone really appreciated it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. This has been a blast. I'm over on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, at Zach_Goodall. Got clips coming out every day from practice. We got Thursday, and then it's off for spring break for us because, like I mentioned earlier, we don't get to go Saturdays. So sorry about that. 2 days a week, a lot of clips, obviously a lot of stories rolling out of there, and it's just getting started. I mean, we got a month until the spring game from right now, so there's plenty more where that came from. You guys follow me over there and all my written work over at Swamp 247.
Yeah, I was pissed that I heard him talk about spring break. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not going to get clips tomorrow. But next week's is March Madness, so it kind of works out. We got other things to be focused on, and it's actually good timing. The first week of March Madness is the best week. Enjoy your vacation. Yeah. Where are you going? Can you tell us? Are you going to Italy?
Yeah. No, I'm okay. I'm going abroad right now. I am going to Asheville, North Carolina with a couple friends. We're actually going to be on pretty much the whole time. So I'll be working up there. Like, this isn't like a PTO kind of deal. I'll be writing stories up there, but I'll get to do it from a nice cabin.
Yeah,
great golf course in Nashville. I don't know if you know that. There's a great golf course in Nashville. You got to check it out. And they got a great little pub scene.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't realize, I've never been there, that there's a cool golf course. So I might want to check that out.
Are you into craft beer? They got tons of craft beer there.
Oh, like that I'm familiar with.
It's a little mecca for craft beer.
Yeah, I've gotten the rundown on the beer situation up there. It should be a good time.
Yeah.
So we went to Asheville a couple years ago for Christmas. There is Wicked Barley, I believe was what it's called. is the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Great place.
Mhm.
Got to check it out. They've got I can't remember what the dish is called, but it's basically minced meat. It's like a raw, like chopped up meat with like an egg in the middle of it. I can't think of what it's.
Oh yeah.
Very
You're
good.
talking my language here.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. I dream about it from time to time. Like, loved it. It was so good. I have a whole vlog on it. I can look. I can't remember what it was called. Also, there is a really cool bar, especially for one with a bunch of friends. It's an arcade bar. 2 stories. So you go in, you pay like $20, and then you just get to play just unlimited games. Like there's Xbox behind the bar. There's downstairs. There's like air hockey. There's like pinball. Like it's like literally every game like you could think of, and you just get blasted and play games. It's
Yeah, I'll be spending my time there without a doubt.
Yeah. Very cool. And then if you want to get even like fancy, like I spent like a lot of cool different places. There's a library where you can do the same thing. You go like to a library, you can drink and like it was more of like kind of like me and the wife just kind of went and sat and hung out, like read a couple books and drank. It was cool. Maybe a little more.
You have to, like be quiet. Like you have to drink there in silence.
It was. I mean, it wasn't like that. I mean, they understood the scenario that was taking place, but a lot of great places to eat, a lot of great food. Very very cool. So have fun. Yeah, and it is much easier to work when you're sitting on the cabin looking outside on the mountains. No question.
Yeah.
Beef
No
tartare.
doubt.
Thank you, Kale. Man, how the hell it's beef tartare. That's what it's called.
Yeah. I'll be messing some of that up, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, Zach, have fun, be safe, man, and we'll have you back on soon, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you.
Black Mountain Golf Course.
Appreciate
Go check it out. About 30 minutes from Asheville. It's great.
Cool. I will make my way over there. Thank you guys. See ya.
Later, bub. I love it. Zach Goodall, everybody. Great stuff. Great information from Zach there. Nod Ross in the chat is undefeated. I love it. Nod, good to see you. He made a cool little clip on Instagram yesterday. Had me rolling about that. We're going to play some clips here from the presser yesterday that had me absolutely Can we play the video one more time, Cody? What?
I just want to let you know the Wi-Fi doesn't work on a sunny day, but god dang, I'm under tornado watch right now. That's what that was. I had the window, Tiff left the window open. I had a 5-gallon, like not 5-gallon, but like the giant Dawn dish soap. It probably weighs 3 or 4 pounds. The wind blew it over in the window seal. That's what that loud crash was.
You're actually under tornado watch?
Yeah.
You literally live in hell. You realize this, right?
Dude, I know. I don't know what this is. This is
like that's not normal, bro.
I know, dog.
I don't know how you do it. Like every day I call you, it's either snowing,
hailing,
sleeting,
ice storm,
tornadoes. You get windstorms. Didn't you get a windstorm that like knocked all your corn over?
Yeah.
I'm laughing with you, not at you. Yeah,
takes different type of person to live here, dog.
Windowsill, not seal.
Is it windowsill? The windowsill. No, the seal is what goes around the window. The sill is the ledge.
Oh man, Cody breaks 80 on that golf course. No, he doesn't. I had the yips up. I was getting pissed. I was losing my cool there for a minute. Can we watch the video again? We should watch it again, right? It's so good. It should
just be our intro every single time.
It might have to be, bro. It's so I love how you tweeted the video. You're like, this is me yelling at Mylon in the backyard. I go, this is me yelling at Cody with my mic.
Yeah.
Not bad there, Miles. Hey, give him a fucking look. That's fucking soft. Fucking bullshit, man.
Ready, go. Get my hand across.
Hey, come back.
Let's go, everybody. They got down.
Fucking strike this fucking thing.
Let's go. Violent hand. Let's go.
Drive.
All right. Get my hand across.
Get your head across the ball here. He's got fucking
Go.
I can watch it all.
Here's the biggest thing. We can't even practice right, dog. Like that like half of practice is having the other guy do his job. Like that's why he was so pissed about the first play. Because he didn't even give him a good look.
The running back.
Yeah.
Right? Not Miles.
Not Miles.
Yeah, I was wondering because he said good job, Miles, and then it's like, bro, you need to be giving him as much energy as he's giving back. Like
and
run the ball, give him a good square to hit. and follow through with it.
I've seen more kids injured, and obviously it's a different level. I've seen more kids injured avoiding contact and trying to play soft in practice than actually lowering the boom on back on the defender.
I mean, complacency, dude, is just a big thing that we've heard. That was such a big issue, and there's a lot of bad habits that have to snap. Look, I think that the team is receiving it well. There's gonna be people who just aren't about it, and that is what it is. I frankly don't give a damn.
They won't play.
None of that. Like, I don't watch that and go like, wow, that guy's an a-hole, or that guy's an a-word. You know what I mean? Or ass word.
No.
That's not the case at all. I don't think any player feels that way. It's look, I'm expecting I'm demanding the best out of you, not demeaning you. So we love it as fans, obviously. Like, and people were commenting on, because Dave posted of like, this is quite normal in spring practices. I love when people in the chat man, I just every day I go on the internet and I post some and I see people just talk, and it's like the lack of brain cells that are circulating. I posted a video saying that the sled's 1,000 pounds. I mean, just complete sarcasm. I try to put a number that is just so egregious that that I'm being facetious. And there's always one or two.
Always.
These guys are off-season champions. That thing's only 300. This guy was posting receipts of how much the damn sled weighed.
Yeah.
Brother, I don't give a damn if it weighs 150 pounds.
Yep.
It weighs 2,000 pounds in my eyes. Okay? Back off. Anyways.
Yeah, try posting a workout video, dog.
Yeah, Well,
yeah,
that's you. I mean, look, I think.
Hey, there's a lot of people that have.
They're just trying to help, Cody. You're being sensitive in this.
Dog. There's a lot of people. I'm just gonna say this.
The Napier comment had me in tears.
Yeah.
The Napier, so Cody posted a video of doing his sled work. To be fair, the guy was right. Your coach was a little lackadaisical in the video. I thought the same.
What was wrong with it?
He just didn't have the oomph. The guy, literally, the comment under Cody's thing says, "Sounds like Napier's coaching you. You need a guy with a little more fire." Cody's getting legs up, and the other guy's like, "Yeah, more. We wanted some oomph there. Like, it's a video. We want to hear the Summerall in him. That's all. We're not asking for much."
I did the rep right though.
So you don't think he should yell at you? I think you could have got your knees a little higher.
Maybe a little higher, yeah. It was at the last. That was the last rep of the whole ordeal. So
no, the people that care appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Look, the ones that are chirping, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's just
my favorite are the people with no profile picture, and they're like, "Oh well, fuck, yeah, you're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. You don't know what you're talking about." Oh boy, tore his ACL. Where'd you find this guy? God.
Praying for everyone has a great day. You're all loved. Juju, the guru, baby. Rock and roll. All right, we got some clips here. Our guy Summy was getting up after on the mic last night. Again, like I said, just so refreshing. Listen to old Coach Johnny. Tell us some good stuff. We're gonna play. I have the minute marks here that we're gonna listen to, and then he speaks about the offense. I don't know if I put a timestamp on it. Yeah, let's talk about that before I forget. Because I just noticed I have a no. We'll wait. Let's play
real fast before we get into it. Just off the prior video, you remember when I asked him what what makes him want to smash a clipboard in game or whatever? Bro, the sideline's gonna be fireworks this year.
Oh,
that was a practice rep, dog.
Yeah, the boys are cooked. Boys are cooked. No question. All right, here's kind of his opening statement that I don't remember why I marked these times, but I like them, so we're gonna play them and then talk about them. But yeah.
And as you've seen our coaches clinic, we have Coach Meyer back and Liam Cohen and John. We ended practice today in the red zone period. It's inevitable when the ball gets in the red zone, everybody's a little more physical because defensively you want to box them out and not let them in, and then offensively you see the paint, you want to go score. But I think we have a long way to go in every area, physicality being one of them. Do I see flashes of us being physical? Yes. Is it down in, down out to the standard we're going to have to play at to be competitive and win this league? No, not yet.
Is that the biggest thing you'd like to see improve? Just the physicality, maybe attention to detail, and what else is there for you?
Oh, gosh. We don't have enough time to talk about everything I want to see improve.
So again, I think I appreciate the transparency. I was thinking about it last night. I was like, man, this guy could tell me we're going to win one game next year, and I'd be like, yeah, I get it, coach. Like I mean, I know people hate when I like this is Gator. But I get it. Just I love this guy, dude. It's hard for me to have a hate.
Yeah, but could you imagine? He just says, "By the way, we practice. We're not beating anybody. Like, we might play Buchholz for the spring game, and they might whip our ass."
He's done an incredible job of making it feel like it's like we're on the staff with him. Like, I get it, coach. These boys suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's completely made it seem like do you
think it's more frustrating for him that he has all this literal raw athletic talent that he's never had at any other
he
stop?
Talks about it. I think I hopefully I clipped it, but he talks about how he's frustrated. He's like, I'm irritated because we're nowhere where we need to be. He then ends it with, we're gonna be okay. I don't want to ruin the clip, but which was kind of like refreshing because I was like, man, this guy, he seems like we're in shambles. And I was like, I've never been so invested in us being in shambles before my entire life. Like, I think if Napier ever came out and was brutally honest of like, yeah, we're nowhere. Like, I think about it now, I can't think of a pressure when Napier was like, we're not where we need to be. It was always like, this team looks really good. This is one of the best teams we've ever had. Like, every year was a fluff piece in a sense. And that's our job. You know, that's our job to psych it up. The more it's like abusive relationship. The more shit he talks about our team, the more fired up I get that we're gonna go. We ain't losing a game. He's like, we're suck. I was like, we're on fire. He goes, this team lacks physicality. I was like, we're gonna level everybody's ass. He goes, there's nobody on this team that can play in the SEC. I was like, we are going to beat the shit out of these cats. It's hilarious. I love it.
All Napier had to do is come out and say, look, it's going to be a very bumpy season. Lagway hasn't thrown a bit. It's shaky. I mean, he's missing all kinds of stuff. Still throwing picks.
I don't think
we don't really have anybody behind him.
Do that. His personality couldn't do that. That's the problem. Is like you can't in year 4 switch the tone all of a sudden. He never did that. Like,
that's a better tone.
Yeah, we'll see. But I appreciate the again, we keep saying it.
Could you imagine just like we get to the second quarter of the spring game and it's just sloppy and they just like, yeah, we'll just run the rest of the time, and they just make them run. It's just two more quarters of this just doing just sprints back and forth.
Oh, because it's just so bad.
It's just so bad. Yeah, he's like, nah, we'll run. We'll just run. We'll run. We'll be well conditioned.
I think what's happening now is like because he said, he goes, look, practice 1, everybody's excited, everybody's fired up. Now you're headed into, we're in 4th practice. You've got pads. The excitement's starting to wear off.
Bumps and
yelling's
bruises.
Yeah. You're sore. The yelling's starting to amp up a little bit. It ain't all sunshine and roses anymore. So he speaks. They're obviously going on spring break. They're all going to get workouts from Coach Witt, which. Shit, he gave our guy JB from Gator one of the walking on a treadmill workout. Speaking of that, Gator, they're gonna be on the show next Tuesday night. JB and Kyle from Gator. So make sure you guys next Tuesday night we're gonna do a Tuesday night show. I am a little concerned because I thought we would have practice to go over, but we do not have that with it being so we'll have plenty to talk about. They're also driving down and they're gonna be joining us on Thursday since Cody bailed. For March Madness. So very excited about it. And then we're going to have Rolling with Carlos on here to talk recruiting over the next couple of weeks. We're kind of scheduled out this week, and I'm trying to do more with, especially our morning shows, doing more interviews and whatnot. And tonight at Live 835, we have Frankie Hammond joining us. So a lot of great things tuning in that we're really excited about here. So let's go. All right, let's play this clip, though.
Completely act like nobody's ever heard the message before. The installation, the core values of what you want to be about, like you have to act like everybody's brand new. This year, everybody is. So it's a little easier to remember that. But I think the world we live in now, every year it's a new year and it's a new team and you can't assume anything. I'm not patient at all. Like I'm just not. And I understand like people want to talk about long-term and process and all this other stuff. And I got it. I'm good. Like there's a process to everything you do. But like the process I want to do is win right now, like today. And I'm a little uncomfortable because we're so far away from where I want us to be that I just, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little on edge, and it's just we're so far away. We're gonna be fine, but we're just so far away that we can't be casual, we can't be complacent, we can't be lethargic. We have to be urgent and fiery and passionate, and we've got to compete every day. And we got to strain, and that's my biggest concern now. Is like, well, guys just strain over and over and over again.
So the reason, again, I've always been a big fan of how he functions with how he talks, because I'm very similar. Like we've talked about this. Like how I am on the show is how I am, right? Like I can't be different because that would be too exhausting. And like him talking there, he's just, now, do I hold back? Yeah. I was saying some shit to Cody last night. He's like, what are we doing here? And so you could see him holding back there, like what he really wants to say. But then he also feels confident in his ability and his staff's ability, and I think the players' ability to turn it around. Like we got plenty of time, but I think where he probably, if I had to assume, again, I'm kind of getting off the lines here, reading between the tea leaves here, where the impatience is coming from is you can see what it could be. Like you've been around the league enough to know, like, we've got so much damn talent here right now. Our only issue is ourselves. Like I've dealt with, like, and sometimes that's harder to overcome because, like, I went to Troy. Like, I'm playing him real quick. I went to Troy, and our biggest issue was where we were going to work out 3 days a week because we had to share the locker room. Had nothing to do with talent. I knew what I had. I knew what we were going to work with. You can only get so much at Troy. Then I go to Tulane, and talent was great, but I was worried about, maintaining and retaining the roster. Like, I had different things, but I could control those things. I could fix those things. Now I've got everything you could ask for, right? I got guys making me protein shakes, put my names on it. I have 3 practice fields, a gym that could feed a country. Like, I have everything you could imagine, but I've got a mindset worth of dudes from last year that are complacent as hell. And I have to flip 50% of this roster to get them to where 3 of these dudes are operating. And I've got to make that the standard. Because then when that becomes the standard, then we can elevate to the next level to becoming an elite. But we're not even here yet. And that's much harder because for the first time probably in his coaching career, not his first time, but this is the part that it's always been the hardest, is mentally changing somebody to see that, hey, why I'm doing what I'm doing is going to work. Because the last guy told them that, hey, this style and this method is going to work. So I've got to convince them that my method and my way of doing things is way better than the last guy. And you got to give me all that you got. And even when you're giving me all that you got, it's not going to be enough. And you can't get demoralized in that moment. And I think that's what he's struggling with. That's the frustration, because he's a fixer. He's a go-getter. And fixing people is a much harder thing to do. You got to wait on them to respond, right? If it's as simple as like, hey, I got to find a new workout, bet. I can do that, right? Cody's like, oh, I can't find a place to run. Bullshit. Yes, we can. We spent 30 minutes yesterday me yelling at him to find a place to go run. Like, that's easy to fix, right? That's where I see him struggling with right now.
Well, I think another thing too is, you still are bound by NCAA practice rules. Like, he can't just like throttle these guys, for 6-7 hours a day until they get it. Like the Marine Corps, like that's not possible. They're still going to class. They're making money. So they kind of, they're kind of living a two-faced life. And what's going to take is it's going to take not the coaches snapping on players. It's going to take players snapping on players. When that shit starts happening, when they're tired of running all the time, when they're tired of doing up downs because the same 7, 8, 9, 10 people, decide to F off or lope during running or what have you, those guys always get caught out. And sometimes you just roll up with a tube sock full of soap and you beat them. No, I'm just joking. You would never do that.
He says that in the presser of like, hey, I need my guys like VB3 and Jaden Woods that are our leaders to not be afraid to not be liked.
Yeah. All your leaders you should hate them.
Yeah.
Respect them, but hate them.
Yep.
And so
I was supposed to go to Italy for spring break, and I took this job. So we're gonna do something here in the state, but we'll not be going to Italy because I got too much shit to do.
I just love that, talking about like he's literally canceling his 15-year anniversary of going to Italy because I tweeted it out. I go, him and Cody got a lot in common. They got a lot going on.
A lot going on. Okay.
We got a lot going on right now. You and Coach both, Cody. You and Coach both got a lot going on. And then here's the last little bit, and then we'll talk about some other stuff that I got here.
Like rep, but it's also written in sand. So like you could be running with the ones today, and if it ain't a very good day for you, you might be running the ones tomorrow. And so, but yeah, I think we're just working through trying to figure out who individual players are, and nobody's anointed here. I can promise you this: nobody to come here was promised a certain amount of playing time, and nobody to keep them here was promised a certain amount of playing time. Every player on our roster, all 111 in the process of retaining or player acquisition, was told you will get what you earn in regards to playing time.
Joseph and Bosch doing it, how difficult or disappointing is it that he's dealing with that to start?
Yeah, he's got a little.
So he speaks about Mbachu. Mbachu has a calf strain, but he doesn't seem to be too concerned about it. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll keep it moving. But I love the analogy there. If it's written in sand, the depth chart. So this is the tidbit that I was talking about earlier, and then we'll get into the offensive line because this will be a great transition. So I was watching the full mic'd up version. We watched a little bit of it on our show here, but I was watching. I go, wait a minute. Let me pull them all up, and then we'll kind of talk through them. But you can see a lineup essentially, right? Again, do with it with what you will. But I think it's very interesting to see who's who, like who's lined up with who and who's rocking with what. And then I don't think it necessarily means like, hey, these are your starters or not. It could mean that the complete opposite. What I mean is like, so for example, if we think Philo is our number one guy, let's take a look at the offensive line. Okay, you can see the names there. You have Najee Harris, who I would assume is your,
Dice, love it.
Yeah, Dice, love it.
Zemandela, which we thought.
Harris, and then I want to say, who was on the left? Oh, it's Caden Jones. I told myself I would remember. It's Caden Jones on the left-hand side. So left tackle's Caden Jones, right or left guard's Najee Harris, Jason Zamandela is your center, Bryce Lovett, and then it looks like Bet at 55, so that doesn't make sense. But then, of course, you have Jaden Ball there. So is this, and again, it's written in sand.
It's Dice.
Oh, Dice. Okay. So there's your right tackle is Tavarian Dice, your redshirt freshman from, that was a big-time flip last year he should be in that conversation. So then we go to this one. This has Aiden Warner as your quarterback, okay? And here's an interesting one because for me, the only kind of, I would say, guy that I would think is a starter on this offensive line would be Najee Harris. Everybody else doesn't really strike me as your starter.
Zamandela, center.
Yeah, but you got Harrison Moore here. And I think Harrison Moore is going to be the starter. I think Big Rod's going to be a starter at guard. Then you have TJ Shanahan. I do believe that it's just a true mixture here. Yeah, you can see Moore and Shanahan. But again, the quarterback is Aiden Warner. So Barry, I just saw this. Can we put any stock into it? No. It's fun seeing the rotational pieces that they're trying here of how they're going to make it work. Is there maybe some signals of where we could be? And then again, he talks about this. So they asked about the offensive line. He was actually very positive, him being Coach John Sumrall, about how he felt where the line is currently. He said, look, Lovett has flashed because basically the entire O-line has showed flashes. Like he's like, I don't want to, kept saying names. He's like, Lovett, Jones, Dice. He kept saying all these names. He's like, I don't want to not say a name because that's how, everybody on this line has shown pieces. And it's kind of cool because everything else we focused on the quarterback room. We've looked at edge. Don't forget, offensive line is being coached one of the best coaches in the football game. And it's an area of concern, but it's weird how it hasn't got much coverage that it has in the past. It's always been, and I don't think by any reason, not on purpose, but maybe it's running that smoothly where it's becoming a second thought. I don't know. But I loved hearing that when asked about that was, in my opinion, the most positive that Summerall had felt when talking.
That
about
was our most concerning thing. So I guess defensive tackle will be our new most concerning group.
I don't know. I feel pretty good about tackle. I think
Plus,
they've heard a
there's
lot
no
of great
depth.
things.
There's no depth, dog.
Yeah. Oh, that was what he said about the offensive line. He goes, "Look, I don't know who our guys are, but he goes, the quality." Now, this was an Napier line, but the quality of depth is huge in that room. Was what he said about offensive line.
Westfall's still coming back from the wrist injury.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He hurt his.
That.
He had a couple
He's
surgeries
not
on
gonna be
that
in spring.
wrist. Yeah. We won't see him at all. So. That to me was very interesting. Of like, look, the quality of depth in that room, that was something that I said. I was pretty adamant about that room being like, look, there's a lot of talent there. We just don't know where it is, right? I think the defensive line is in a much better place as well too. I think we might have areas of issue elsewhere. I don't know where yet, but again, who knows? I don't. Could be a handful of things. Oh, and then he talks about hiring Marcus Davis and Brandon Harris, which is kind of cool. He's talking about hiring them. He goes, look, I made it a point I wanted to have a couple of people on staff that were had ties to South Florida. That was a big.
It's important.
Yeah, big component to me. And we talked about that when those guys were getting hired, how important those pieces were. So again, those are just small things that just when you watch these pressers of the coach, you learn more about them and kind of their tendencies and who they are and what makes them tick. Again, with how much transparency there is, I mean, you get so much out of it. So great stuff. A lot of great things. I can't get enough of it right now. We're gobbling it up. I'm very excited. I think I'm happy that we do get a little bit of a spring break. It'll be a nice break in between these first 2 weeks of practice. Of course, next week starts March Madness. Of course, we've got the SEC tournament that starts today, which in basketball, which is great. Tomorrow we'll have some more, and then of course on Friday at 1 p.m. we'll be kicking off our live stream weekend for March Madness, which will then hopefully lead to a 4-week span of Cody and I just going absolutely berserk on the TV screen, along with John. John's been a great addition to the basketball stream, so that's been a good set of information there. But great stuff, great morning show. We go live tonight at 8:35 as we always do on this beautiful Wednesday, the best day of the week with our guy Freaky Hammond, pass wide receiver. So. Jam-packed shows. Any way you look, we're rocking. Cody, closing thoughts?
Big basketball coming up. Big basketball weekend coming up.
I just said that. Anything else?
Super excited. I'm excited to see the Gators play.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. That last year was a iconic run. We kind of learned a lot about ourselves, and getting to watch what the boys was an absolute blast. So excited to do that again. Excited to it's fun talking about it, but watching it and being in it is something else. And so we get to do that. Oh, shout out to the Gators baseball team for whooping that ass against FSU last night. That was good stuff. That was game 1 of the 3-game series.
You usually go to that, don't you? Is that usually
the one in Jacksonville? I will be going to that one in Jacksonville in a couple of weeks. Yep.
Okay.
I will be going to that one. That one's they play once in Gainesville, once in Jacksonville, once in FSU. So the second game will be held in Jacksonville, and I will be there. But Cody, keep after it. Keep the legs strong. Keep them pumping. Y'all be good. Have a great. Oh, Cody, we did this yesterday. You weren't here. I'll play for you now. Y'all be good. Have a great Wednesday. Hey, peace and love, baby.
Knows the brew. Professor steps in with the foam in the air, got a brew in his hand and a confident flair.
Good morning, boys. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. Haters don't stop your progress. They prove you're moving forward. Have an amazing week. Juju, the guru.
Straight from the text. Sip,
analyze
what's next. Break it all down with respect, no flex. High top sports peer review. Pour it up for the crew. Sip it slow, what it do, do. Professor's got the brew. High top sports beer review. Take a taste, break it through. Bittersweet, light or true. Professor knows the brew.